Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to show you how to make these vegan chocolate ginger digestives. So today I thought I'd show you my vegan chocolate ginger digestives. I have written a recipe on this which I will link down below in the description box for you, but it's also on my blog foodfamilyandfunak.com. So first of all, I've weighed and measured all of my ingredients and I'm going to mix these in the bowl. So this is what I call my dry ingredients in my recipe. So I have 200 grams of porridge oats, I have 150 grams of spelt flour, and I have 50 grams of raw cacao powder. And then in this bowl I have 1 teaspoon of baking powder, I have 2 teaspoons of cinnamon, I have a quarter teaspoon of nutmeg, a quarter teaspoon of ground cloves, a quarter teaspoon of vanilla powder and 2 tablespoons of ginger, and I've also added a quarter teaspoon of salt to that bowl as well. And now all I'm going to do is just put them in here and then I will mix them together. So I'm just going to mix these round now until they're well mixed. So with the spelt flour, I've also done another recipe called vegan digestives, which is also on my blog, which I will link down below in the description box. And in that recipe, it has 200 grams of spelt flour and 200 grams of porridge oats in it. But I've removed 50 grams of the spelt flour and I've added 50 grams of raw cacao powder for this one. And I've also added 2 tablespoons of ginger as well for this recipe too. So that's now well mixed, and I'm going to go and deal with my wet ingredients now. So for my wet ingredients I have 125 grams of coconut oil, which I will just add to the pan. And then I have 125 grams of maple syrup, or 125 mils of maple syrup, which I'll add to the pan as well. And then all I'm going to do is melt these together. And that is my wet ingredients to stick the dry ingredients together. My coconut oil and maple syrup are now nicely melted together. I forgot to say that I put these on a medium heat to melt them down. It took a little while and it's still a bit warm, but they're okay to use now. So I'm going to add the coconut oil and maple syrup to my dry ingredients. I'm going to mix these together. So I've finished mixing them together and the mixture is just slightly dry, so I'm just going to add a little bit of oat milk to the mix as well. You may not need all of it. I've done 60 mils, you may not need all of it, but I think I just need it to glue it together really. That's what I need it for. So I think I'll have a little bit more. And I think that is it. So I've rolled out a piece of cling film, as you can see here, and I'm just going to add my biscuit mix, my biscuit dough, to the cling film. And then once I've got it all on, I'm going to wrap it up in the cling film, and then I will put it in the fridge for a couple of hours, and then I'll come back and roll it out. The biscuit dough has been in the fridge for 2 hours now, and I've just taken it out. I've left it on the side to cool, but I'm just going to preheat the oven to 180 degrees, and in the oven I have my Pampered Chef stones, which I'm going to use to bake my cookies on, and I will explain about these in a moment. So as I mentioned earlier, the biscuit or cookie dough has been in the fridge for 2 hours now, and I'm going to roll it out, and I've got my shape cutters here, so I've got a circle and I've got some little stars as well. These are really handy if you have children. They're like a bite-sized biscuit, so they're really good for kids. And these are as well actually. This size is really great. I think it's like 5 centimetre circumference, so that's really great as well. And I've got some flour for dusting the board, and I've got my rolling pin, and I have 2 spare boards to put the cookies on. So what I'm going to do now is just cut a chunk of the dough off. It will be very hard because it's been in the fridge for 2 hours, but that makes the biscuit much more crunchy when you cook it in the oven, so that's why I do that. And then I'm just going to roll these out now. So yeah, as you can see, it's all going to fall apart, but it does glue back together once you've rolled it out. So I've finished cutting my biscuits and they're all ready to go in the oven, and I've taken out my Pampered Chef stones. I'm going to put my biscuits on my Pampered Chef stones, but before I do, I just want to say I'm not sponsored by Pampered Chef to make this in any way, but I love using these stones because they help to bake the biscuit more evenly, I find. If I use a baking tray or something I bought from the supermarket, I don't find it bakes as evenly as I do if I use these stones. Pampered Chef used to be a company in the UK, but they decided to leave the UK for some reason. They are still in America. You may still be able to get these online somewhere, and I would say they are well worth the investment. I cook a lot of things in my stoneware. Roast potatoes especially is great in Pampered Chef stones. So I'm going to put the cut biscuits or cookies onto the stones, and then I'm going to put them back in the oven for about 8 to 10 minutes. Biscuits are now done. They've been in the oven for about 10 minutes, and I'm just going to transfer them to the cooling rack now. I have transferred the biscuits to a nice jar from the cooling rack. These do make a brilliant present for a friend, or they are fantastic just eaten by you. I'm going to go off and enjoy these now with a nice cup of tea. So that's it from me. Again, I will link all of the recipes I've mentioned in this video in the description box below for you, or you can go to my blog www.foodfamilyandfunak.com, where you'll find loads of brilliant recipes. So thank you so much for watching. Please feel free to give me a big thumbs up if you enjoyed this video, and please feel free to leave any comments below. If you have any favourite biscuits that you really enjoy, then I'd love to hear about them. And please don't forget to hit that subscribe button. See you all soon. Bye.